Hi, this is Garibay, and today I'm going to be talking about the Bible. Specifically, I'm going to talk about sojourners. So, in the Old Testament, they talk about sojourners, and specifically the other day, I was listening to the Bible on tape, or actually, I listened to it through an app on my phone, which is really nice. And I was listening to Deuteronomy 25, and it talked about sojourners. And so I go through the Bible, cover to cover. I listen to it or I read it, and that means I just go through. I read all the Old Testament, all of the New Testament, and one of the things is you get into some areas that you really wouldn't repeat if you don't read the Bible that way. And so Deuteronomy is a tough area. It deals with the law a lot, and so it's talking about sojourners, right? And this is a truly, truly profound piece of knowledge and wisdom in the Word about sojourners. So it talks about sojourners, and the Bible defines sojourners as people who are passing through a country, right? So they're going from one country through to another country, through an area or a region, right? Maybe not a country, but an area or a region. Lands where people live. So, like, essentially a Canaanite passing through land that was held by the Israelites, to where the Philistines might be, that would be a sojourner, right? So, one of the things that's great about the Bible is it's just so filled with all this awesome knowledge and all this wisdom, and unfortunately, many, many, many things that we do not do that we should do, right? So the sojourner is, when I listened to it, I was like, that's a migrant. Like, that is, somebody, that's an immigrant going, from one country into another, right? And it was shocking what the Old Testament had to say about immigrants, right? So it said, a sojourner, who I believe they're talking about immigrants, right? The term is very synonymous, right? So they're saying, so it says, so the law, God talking to talking to Abraham or Moses, the writer of Deuteronomy, right, is saying, hey, listen, here's what you need to do with sojourners. So when you go out to your field and you gather all the wheat, don't go back and get the gleanings, right? Don't go back and get the gleanings. So it says, for us to understand today, it'd be like, if you go out and you get all your corn and you harvest all your corn from your field, that's great. You got all the cobs, right? You got 10,000 cobs. But you know what? You know that back in that field, if you sweep through again, there's going to be 100 cobs that are out there, corn on the cobs, that you can pick up, right? That's the gleanings, the leftovers, right? And it says, don't get the gleanings. Don't get the leftovers. Leave that for the sojourner. What? Like, this is crazy. If you are thinking about what the Bible is saying, this says dramatically how we should be treating immigrants today, right? So what it says is, not only should you leave leftovers for immigrants, not only should you make sure that they have a little bit of your spoil, right? Just a little bit, just the gleanings, right? But it's saying that the immigrants can be on your property, that they can come onto your property and pick up the gleanings. Like, they can come in and pick up what the wheat that you didn't pick up out of your field. This is huge, right? So one of the things I'm really trying to do as a Christian and as an American is realize this belief is an American belief and this belief is a Christian belief. They're not the same. They're not always the same, right? So you hear people say God, gun, and country, right? Well, I'm down with God and I am down with country. And believe it or not, I absolutely feel that we have a right to bear arms because I believe in the Constitution, right? But here's the issue. You would get a lot of Christians today who say, hey, you come onto my property, I'll shoot you dead. And that completely jives with the Christian belief. It doesn't, clearly, right? This is saying, hey, these immigrants from another nation, these people from another land, these people walking through your country, guess what? You should leave some of your crop for them. And when they come onto your property, not only do you not shoot them, you let them take what is yours. You let them take a small percentage of what is yours. That is how God told the Israelites to treat immigrants. And that is the wisdom of what we should use today on how to treat immigrants, right? We should make sure to leave them a little bit. And we need to realize that every inch of land that was given to us by God, we need to share it. And we need to be kind to those who've come into our country, right? And that just blew me away. Because, I mean, boy, you want to talk about, what's in the Bible and what is an American belief? Now, I love this country and I love God. I love God more than I love this country, right? But I think that God helped to create this American country. But we need to realize that God has blessed us and that He is going, and that He should, and that because of that, we need to just look at the Old Testament and make sure that we are leaving the gleanings, and we realize that the property that has been given to us by God, others may pass through that property. We have a right to defend ourselves, but we don't have the right to stop someone from taking just a tiny bit of what's ours. If they're willing to just take the gleanings, then we have a commandment from God to make sure that we are open with our property, open with the spoils that we have, open with our harvest. It just blew my mind when I realized what Deuteronomy, was saying about how we today should treat immigrants. And it's incredible, right? And, so, I just really felt important that I wanted to talk about that. And thank you guys for listening. Take care.